All right, we want to welcome Congressman Chuck Fleischmann. Congressman, thank you for making some time for us this Sunday. I want to start by talking to you about that migrant facility in your neck of the woods there in Chattanooga, uh, losing their license, and you and several other lawmakers are calling for a hearing or calling for a briefing on what took place there. Anything new on that front?
My understanding that the state has conducted a closed hearing, but I go back to the inception of this problem in May when both Senator Haggerty, Senator Blackburn, and myself, as well as local officials, were just totally blindsided by this occurrence. We found out through the media, through media reports. We immediately demanded transparency from the Biden administration to try to get information. And what did I say then? This situation was going to be wrought with problems. And what has happened? It's come into fruition. This facility that was run by a nonprofit has now been shut down by the state. There have been reports of different types of abuse. It's outrageous, it's wrong, and this is something that should have never been allowed to happen.
So is the state not providing you information either?
Well, I think they actually just had their hearing on Thursday or Friday, and they went closed doors. So we have not been privy to that. I want to make sure that in my role, I stay in my proper lane as a federal legislator. What I mean by that is I want the state agencies to do their due diligence, to be fair to everyone involved so that they can get a thorough and accurate finding. At that point in time, I expect to be informed.
Well, Congressman, and we've talked before about the Biden administration's messaging and how you believe that has played a role in what's going on at the border. But I want to ask you, if we could pretend for a moment no one's in the White House, what are the answers for our immigration issues? I mean, will the wall be a silver bullet? I know that's something you support. What are the answers to the immigration problem?
That's a great question, and I'm glad that you asked that. First of all, the wall is the law. As part of the appropriations package passed by the Senate and the House and signed into law for fiscal 2021, which we're in right now, $2 billion was there for wall construction. So as far as appropriations is concerned, the wall is the law. President Biden looked the other way, unfortunately. That's only part of the problem, part of the solution, if you will. What I mean by that is the wall is a deterrent. I went to the border several times. The CB people said, we want a wall, we need a wall. Is it a cure-all? No, but it slows down people so that we can catch them. But we've got to look at the entire situation. I went down to the El Paso sector since Biden has been in office, and it was shocking. I spoke with people. They really feel that they were incentivized, if you will, invited to come in by this administration. They really believe that. The coyotes and the cartels are part of the problem as well. These are criminal entities that profit at a human cost, whether they're migrants, whether they're minor migrants or adult migrants, whether they're bringing drugs across the border. Fentanyl is at an all-time high. We've seized more fentanyl this year than all of 2020 alone. So it's a problem at so many areas. So to answer your question, we've got to address everything. But the key is secure our border, disincentivize illegal immigration, and deal with it. At every step of the way, President Biden, sadly, and this has disappointed me, has gone the other way. He's gone the other way on the wall. He's gone the other way on the Mexico policy, which was a buffer to keep people in Mexico while they were waiting for asylum. He's looking now at actually doing away with Section 42, which deals with COVID and things like that. So he continues to make, in my view, critical mistakes that do what? Overload the system, flood the system, continue to break the system, and continue to cost the American taxpayer crisis and money, and on top of that, causing a humanitarian crisis for the migrants involved. These people who are coming are abused before they get here. Once they get here, they're treated actually very well at great cost to the American taxpayer. We've got to disincentivize it. We've got to deal with it. And we've got to secure our border.
And Congressman, what did you make of, it was really an interesting week for politics. We had the vice president on one end of Texas, and we had the former president on the other end of Texas. I mean, what did you make of that? Politically, we are so divided on the issue of immigration. We genuinely have a current and former administration kind of with different messaging.
I look at results. Under the Trump administration, we saw a precipitous drop in illegal immigration. We saw respect for the rule of law. We saw confidence in our ICE and CBP officers who do such a good job. We were dealing with the problem. The wall was being built. All of the above was getting done. We still had work to do and work to go. Under this current administration, finally, Vice President Harris did actually go to, I believe, the El Paso sector, which is one of the sectors involved, made a visit, but absolutely no attempt to curtail this problem, to deal with this problem. I really candidly don't think the Biden administration knows what to do. They're afraid, candidly, to offend their radical left wing of their party, which is unfortunate because this is now a problem affecting all Americans. It's affecting the migrants from a humanitarian standpoint. What we need is a comprehensive policy to secure our border and to thwart and stop illegal immigration to this country. We need to be a nation of legal immigration, by the law, by the book.
Well, in Tennessee, 5 days ago, we're taping Thursday night here, but on June 3rd, or July 3rd, rather, Governor Lee ended that federal supplement of unemployment benefits. What do you think will come next? Do you think more people will go to work?
Yes, they will. Time and time again, we have had a battle over the last 10 years with folks on the other side of the aisle who I can remember early in my congressional career, Democrats wanted to continue unemployment benefits. And what did we do? We fought in the House way back when to stop it. And guess what? You stop the benefits, people go to work because you incentivize work. And I think that's what we need to do in this nation. I applaud Governor Lee for stopping that additional amount of money. And we have employers across the state, but particularly in the 3rd district, calling me and begging me. They've got open jobs. So by necessity, we want people to be able to go to work to incentivize that. And yes, if you're paying people more money to stay at home, as we were, than they can make working, they're going to stay at home. It made no sense then. So thank goodness we've stopped this policy. Let the people go back to work, earn a decent paycheck, and employers who want them all across Tennessee.
Well, I want to talk to you about infrastructure now. Where we are on that infrastructure framework, do you support that kind of bipartisan agreement?
Right now, I'm looking at it. The bipartisan agreement that the Senate is looking at is favorable when compared to the House bill, which I voted against. Let me be clear. We need an infrastructure bill that deals with roads, deals with bridges, deals with waterways, deals with broadband, something that the average person, the average Tennessean, average American would say, this is infrastructure. We don't need a social justice bill. We don't need a bill that infuses or tries to infuse the new Green Deal into an infrastructure package. That will be uniformly rejected by the American people. So having said that, if we can get to an agreement that is responsible in size, and what I mean by that, $800 million to $1 trillion, deals with real infrastructure, roads, bridges, and the like, as I alluded to, and basically is responsibly funded without raising corporate taxes, which is a fiction and which is a step in the wrong direction, then perhaps we can get to a point where I can support that bill.
Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, thank you so much for your time. We'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, sir. Wish you the best.